So you probably just finished up watching the first video where we did elapsed time, going from a start time and knowing how long an event lasted and then finding the ending time from there. Now we're going to do a different type of elapsed time problem. This time we're going to know the starting time and we're going to know the ending time, but we're going to need to calculate how much time passed between the two events. So it's a little bit of a different type of problem, but really the approach is pretty much exactly the same. So let's go ahead and look at an example. And just like in the previous video, we're going to start with a simple a simple problem that many of you could probably do in your head. But again, it's very helpful to see the process on an easy problem so we can build up to more complicated problems later on. So let's say Brenda started reading at 4:20 and she finished reading at 4:50. How long did she read? So again, the question is just a little bit different than the questions we were looking at previously. So we have a start time of 4:20 and we know the event ended at 4:50 and our question is how long did it last? Now we're going to go ahead and use the same type of approach. We're still going to use the number line and we're again going to put our start time here at 4:20. Now this time the second step's a little bit different. So the second thing that we know this time is actually the end time. So I'm going to go ahead and put my end time over here at the end of my number line. Now, something really important about these types of problems, one of the most common things that we run into here is as we're moving along the number line, we might not land exactly where we write that 4:50, but it's helpful for us to know what our target is. So you're going to notice that sometimes I'll end up erasing the ending time and rewriting it someplace else, but it's just kind of a target of where we're heading. So you'll see what I mean in just a minute here. So again, here's our start time of 4:20. And now this time we're going to move along the number line until we get to 4:50. So I'm going to start here at 4:20 and I'm going to start moving my hills along the number line. And as I do so, I'm going to count the times. Okay, so I'm going to move 5 minutes and now it's 4:25, 4:30, 4:35, 4:40, 4:45, and 4:50. Now I did land right on the 4:50 this time. That doesn't always happen so neatly. So again, if I would have written my 4:50 over here, for example, I would just erase it and now put it where I actually landed when I got to the end there. But it did end pretty nicely right where I wanted to this time. So once I've done that movement on the number line, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to count how much time passed on the number line. So we know each hill is worth 5 minutes. So we're just going to go back now and we're going to count the time in our hills. So remember, each hill represents 5 minutes. We're not counting this time the points on the number line. We're counting the passage of the time, which is in the hills. So we've got 5 minutes in the first hill, 5 in the second hill for a total of 10. Then this would be 15, 20, 25, and 30. So our answer to this question of how long was Brenda reading, we would say she was reading for 30 minutes would be our answer. And that's how you would write that. We're not answering with the time, we're answering with 30 minutes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear this problem. We're going to try another one. Here's a good time to go ahead and try this problem with me. So go ahead and grab your paper and pencil. Again, if you don't have it handy, pause the video and grab it, and then resume the video when you're done. So this time I'm going to have a start time of 5:15 and an end time of 5:40. So again, we're going to start over here. Both types of problems start the same way with labeling our starting time on the number line. And then we know we're going to end up with 5:40 somewhere over here. And notice I'm not putting an actual point on the number line yet, because again, that's my target, that's where I'm heading at the end of the number line. We'll put our actual point when we land on 5:40. So I'm going to start here at 5:15, and I'm going to start moving my hills. 5:15 to 5:20, to 5:25 to 5:30 to 5:35 to 5:40. Now here's an example like I mentioned earlier. Notice that my 5:40 isn't exactly where I landed, but that is where 5:40 occurs. So I'm just going to kind of go back now and erase that 5:40. Remember, that was just kind of my reminder of where I was trying to get to. I'm going to erase that now, and I'm going to go ahead and label where my actual 5:40 occurs. And now we're going to count to see how far along the number line we moved. So this would be 5 minutes, then 10. Here would be 15, 20, and 25. So the answer to the question, how long did this event occur, or how long did it last? Our answer would be 25 minutes. So again, we would not write a time as an answer or say a time. Our answer would be 25 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear this one, and we're going to try another one. This one's going to have just kind of one additional variation to it. So you can probably try this one along with me again, because I think you're going to have enough knowledge from the previous video and this video together to be able to do this one right along with me. So we're going to say our event began at 7:40 and it ended at 7:56. And this could maybe be I took my dog for a walk at 7:40 and I returned at 7:56. How long was I walking my dog? So again, we're going to start right here by putting that 7:40 at the beginning of our number line. And somewhere over here, we're aiming for a target of 7:56. That's where we're going to want to end on our number line. And we're going to start moving here. So we're going to count 7:45, 7:50, 7:55, and maybe some of you can predict what's going to happen here. If we go again, we're actually going to make it to 8 o'clock, right? 8 o'clock comes after 7:55. We talked about that in the last video. After 7:55 would not be 7:60, it would be 8 o'clock. But notice 8 o'clock actually goes past our target time of 7:56. So that's no good. So we're going to have to erase the last hill that we drove, or that we drew. And we're going to have to try something different. So again, we've got 7:45 to 7:40 to 7:45, 7:45 to 7:50, 7:50 to 7:55. And then if you guess we should use a rock here, you were absolutely correct. One rock would move us to our target of 7:56. And you can see again, I'm nowhere near where I estimated I might end up. So I'm just going to erase that time over there because we want that time to be precisely where it ends up on the number line. And now I can go back here and I can count up my minutes. And this is where it's real important that my hills and rocks are neat, because now I can go ahead and I can say my first hill is 5 minutes, 10, 15, and then this one here wouldn't be 16 or wouldn't be 20. We wouldn't go 5, 10, 15, 20 because that rock is only worth, or that stone is only worth 1 minute. So that would be a total of 16 minutes. So this event would actually have lasted 16 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear that one. And I'm going to give you another one I'd like you to try on your own this time. So what if I gave you a start time of, let's try 8:15 and an ending time. Oh my, that was not a good one. Okay, let's try an ending time of, and I'm having some pen problems. Let's try that again. An ending time of 8:29. So I'm going to encourage you to pause the video here and try this problem on your own. And once you've tried it, go ahead and resume the video, and I will solve this one quickly so you can check your work. Okay, so you probably have just resumed the video. I'm going to move quickly on this one because hopefully you're feeling a little bit more confident. So I started at 8:15. I'm going to travel. Oops, I shouldn't have put my dot there because we don't know exactly when we're going to end. That's what happens when I try to work too fast. So 8:29 is my targeted end time. I'm going to go ahead and move by 5s to begin with. 8:15 to 8:20, 8:25, 8:30. And you probably noticed there that that didn't work. So instead of 8:30, we're going to backtrack and we're going to go to stones here at this point. So we've got 8:15 to 8:20 to 8:25. Now I'm going to use my stones. 8:26, 8:27, 8:28, and 8:29. So there's where I'm going to land. And when I count up my time, again, I've got 5, 10. Now I'm going to count by ones here. So this would be 11, 12, 13, and 14. So this particular event would have lasted 14 minutes. I can tell you're doing a fabulous job, and I know you're rocking this elapsed time. I'm going to go ahead and try one more type of problem with you. And again, if you watch the first set of videos, this probably is not going to be too difficult for you to figure out how to solve this type of problem. Let's give it a try. What if we had something like 9:45 as a start time and an end time, of 10:16? These are the ones that sometimes we get a little bit get tougher to do in our heads when we start to pass over that hour. But we're going to see when we put together what we've learned in the previous video and the beginning of this video, you're going to see there's actually nothing really brand new that we're doing here. So starting at 9:45, and our target is 10:16. So I'm going to start here again, moving at 5-minute increments. So we've got 9:50, 9:55, and here's what we talked about before. After 9:55 would not be 9:60, but instead it would be 10 o'clock. And again, we're going to do a little ding, 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 ding. And it's important to mark that and remember that so we don't forget about that transition of time there. So now we're at 10 o'clock. We'll continue to count our 5-minute increments. Remember, after 10 would be 10:05, 10:10, 10:15, and of course another hill would take us to 10:20, which is too much. So instead I'm going to take one stone to get to 10:16, and we did land right there where we wanted to be. And now I'll go back and count up those minutes, and we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 31. So the answer for this one, how much time passes from 9:45 to 10:16, our answer would be 31 minutes. Fantastic job. I'm going to stop this portion of the videos here. Again, if you have any questions on these, this would be a good time to comment on the videos, text me, email, or so forth. If you watched both set of videos and you're feeling confident on those two sets of videos, then you are probably in good shape to be able to progress on to the assignment, which is the ALEX assignment, which should be just below these videos in your Google Classroom. If you're having a hard time, it might be a good time again to ask some questions before you move on, or to do a little bit more practice before you go on. The ALEX assignment will be a good place to be able to check for sure how you're feeling with elapsed time. If you are a square, you do have a little bit more of a challenge in some of those videos. In some of those assignments, and I will probably post another video that will help you out with those later on. So good luck and great job with your elapsed time.